I would like to invite Dr. Lena Kushner to give her remarks.
Today, we come together as a kihila to observe Yom HaZikaron, a day of remembrance. On this day, we honor the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces and all those who have given their lives in service of the State of Israel, as well as those who have been victims of terror. We remember their courage, their love, and the lives they lived. This year, we gather with especially full hearts. Israel continues to face a very difficult and fragile time, including ongoing conflict with Hezbollah and war with Iran. Even as all of the hostages have returned home, soldiers are still protecting Israel each and every day. Our thoughts and prayers remain with them and with their families. Yom HaZikaron asks something important of us. It asks us to pause, to remember, and to honor not only those who were lost, but the values they stood for: bravery, resilience, and deep care for others. As we begin this ceremony, may we hold these values in our hearts. May we feel gratitude for those who serve. And may we carry forward a sense of responsibility to live with kindness, strength, and compassion.
Hayom Yom HaZikaron l'chalalei ma'arichot Yisrael v'nifka'ei haTorah. Bayom ze mityached ha'am ha'yehudi im zecher banav u'vanato. Hana'aminim v'ha'amitzim asher cherfu nifsham al tikumat Yisrael v'nishmarata.
Yom HaZikaron is a day of collective and personal sadness, mingled with awe and honor for those who died in the struggle for the establishment of the State of Israel and its defense. On Yom HaZikaron, the entire nation remembers its debt and expresses eternal gratitude to all who gave their lives for the achievement of the country's independence and its continued existence.
היום אנו מטבלים על הנופלים ומחבקים את משפחותיהם. לבנו מלא תודה והכרה על שובם של כל הנשים שלה היו עם משפחותיהם חזרה הביתה, רגע של תקווה ואור בתוך החושך.
ובעת שאנו נושאים עינינו בהודיה, אנו זוכרים כי חיילינו וחיילותינו עומדים על המשמר, נלחמים ומגינים על מדינת ישראל באומץ ובמסירות נפש. אנו מצדיעים לגבורתם, מחזיקים את ידיהם ומתפללים לשלומם ולשובם הבטוח.
ננציח את זכרם של הנופלים בליבנו לדור ודור ונשא תמיד את תקוות החיים האחד והשלום.
Today we mourn those who have fallen and embrace their families. Our hearts are filled with gratitude and recognition for the return home of all the people who were away from their families, a moment of hope and light within the darkness. And as we lift our eyes in thanks, we remember that our soldiers, men and women, continue to stand on guard, fighting and protecting the State of Israel with courage, selfless devotion. We salute their bravery, strengthen their hands, and pray for their safety and for their safe return home. We will carry the memory of the fallen in our hearts for generation after generation, and we will always uphold the hope for life, unity, and peace.
להורדת הדגל לחצי התרם ואמירת יזכור הקהל מתבקש לעמוד. Please rise for the lowering of the flag to half-mast and the recitation of the Yizkor by Chazan.
יזכור עם ישראל את בניו ובנותיו אשר חירפו נפשם במאבק על המדינה בדרך, ואת חיילי צבא הגנה לישראל אשר נפלו במלחמות ישראל. יזכור ישראל ויתברך בזרעו ויאבל על זיו העלומים בחמדת הגבורה, קדושת הרצון ומסירות הנפש אשר נספו במערכות הכבדות. יהיו גיבורי הדרור והניצחון הנאמנים והאמיצים חתומים בלב ישראל לדור דור.
May God remember the valiant men and women who braved mortal danger in the days of struggle prior to the establishment of the State of Israel, and the soldier who fell in war of Israel.
May the people of Israel cherish them in their memory. Let them mourn the splendor of youth, the altruism of valor, the dedication of will, and the dignity of self-sacrifice, which came to an end on the battlefield.
May the loyal and courageous heroes of freedom and victory be sealed forever within the hearts of all Israel in this generation and forevermore.
בעוד שניות אחדות תשמע ספירה ואנו נעמוד בראש מורכן ונתייחד בלבנו ומחשבותינו עם אלה שאינם. דקת דומיה של התייחדות, דקת דומיה לזכור ולא לשכוח.
In a few seconds, we will hear the siren. When we hear this siren, we know that it'll be a time to remember the ones who lost their lives in wars and terror attacks to protect the home of the Jewish people and the state of Israel. When we hear it, we will stand up tall, remain silent, and think quietly about all who protect Israel. A moment of silence to keep their memory in our hearts and souls and never forget. Please be seated.
היום אנחנו עוצרים לרגע כדי לזכור אנשים צעירים שחיו, חלמו ואהבו ממש כמו כולנו. הסיפורים שנשמע עכשיו הם על אנשים אמיתיים ממשפחות, חברים וחלומות גדולים. דרך הזיכרון שלהם אנחנו לומדים על אומץ, על טוב לב ועל האור שאדם אחד יכול להביא לעולם. Today we pause for a moment to remember young people who lived, dreamed, and loved just like we do. The stories we are about to hear are about real people with family, friends, and big dreams. Through their memory, we learn about courage, kindness, and the light one person can bring into the world.
אורי גרוסמן היה בן אוהב, אח טוב וחבר אמיתי. הוא היה אדם מיוחד שהאיר את הסביבה שלו בחיוך, בטוב לב ובהומור. אורי שירת כלוחם ולאחר מכן כמפקד טנק בחייל השריון. הוא חלם להיות מפקד טנק.
באוגוסט 2006 במלחמת לבנון השנייה, אורי נהרג בקרב בלבנון כשהטנק שלו נפגע מטיל. הוא היה בן 20 בלבד. אורי נזכיר בזכות החיות שלו, הלב הטוב שלו והאור שהביא למשפחה, לחברים ולמדינת ישראל. הזיכרון שלו ממשיך לחיות בלב האנשים שאהבו אותו.
Uri Grossman was a loving son, a caring brother, and a true friend. He was kind, sensitive, and always ready to help others. He loved people, loved life, and had a warm sense of humor that brought joy to everyone around him.
Uri served as a soldier and later as a tank commander in Brigade 401 of the IDF. He was brave and responsible. He believed in treating everyone with respect and humanity, even during difficult times. He worked hard to achieve his dreams of becoming a commander, and he became a respected leader. In August 2006, during the Second Lebanon War, Uri was killed in action when his tank was hit. He was 20 years old.
Uri is remembered for his smile, his good heart, and the light he brought to his family, friends, and his country. His memory continues to inspire.
אורי היה קאובוי, ולא סתם, קאובוי מוקפד. בגיל 3 היה מגיע בכל בוקר לגן התאנה במבשרת ציון, כשהוא מצויד בכל הפריטים שנחוצים לבוקר המתחיל, 23 פריטים, מהבנדנה והלסו עד הכובע והאקדח והכוכב של השריף. את חלום הקאובוי החליף החלום להיות טייס. אבל גם הוא נכזב כאשר התגלה אצלו ליקוי ראייה, ובגיל 5.5 אורי קיבל את המשקפיים הראשונים שלו. כשהלך לבדיקת עיניים, שאל אותו אחיו, יונתן, לאן הוא הולך? אורי ענה, למקום שבו יוכיחו לי שמוצא האדם מן העטלף. כשנסענו כל המשפחה לבקר את יונתן בבסיס בשיזפון, עצרנו בדרך בחוות האלפקות במצפה רמון. רותי נפלה ונקעה את הרגל. כאב לה. חשבנו לוותר על המשך הטיול ולחזור הביתה, אבל אורי הניף אותה על כתפיו בסחיבת פצוע. כל הגוף שלה כאב, היא סבלה, אבל אורי היה כל כך חינני ומצחיק ואבירי, כך שרותי לא התלוננה. כשהגענו בסוף לבסיס של יונתן, רותי לא הייתה מסוגלת לדרוך על כף הרגל. אורי הרים אותה ונשא אותה ממקום למקום ברחבי הבסיס, ממש כמו נסיכה. השירות הצבאי של אורי היה קשה. הוא כלל עמידה מפרכת במחסומים, סיורים בגדה. אורי שהיה איש של שלום, חיפש דרך לנהוג באופן אנושי גם במסגרת התפקיד שלו בשטחים. בכל פעם שניגש לבדוק מכונית פלסטינית במחסום, הדבר הראשון שבדק היה אם באוטו יש ילד קטן. וניסה להצחיק אותו, להקל ולהרגיע.
I would like to invite Consul General Elad from the Israel Consulate to give their remarks.
Boker Tov, dear students, teachers, and members of the community. Thank you for inviting me to be here with you today. There is one moment on Yom HaZikaron in Israel that captures everything this day represents. A moment when an entire country stops, not because it has to, because it chooses to. The siren sounds. Car stops in the middle of the road. People step out and stand in silence. For 1 minute, a whole nation stands together. Earlier today here in Chicago, I stood at the same moment. I knew that in Israel, people everywhere were standing still. But here, life continued. Cars kept moving. People kept walking. And the gap between here and there is something you feel very strongly on this day. A Jewish poet, Judah Halevi, wrote centuries ago, "My heart is in the east, and I'm in the west." On a day like today, that is not just poetry, it's real. Our hearts are in Israel, but we are here. Our hearts are with the families, with the memories, with the people who are no longer here. In Israel, loss is not distant. It is part of the fabric of life. Almost everyone knows someone who has been lost. Memory in Israel is not only national, it is personal, intimate, almost familial. And in the past 2 years, in the past two and a half years, since October 7, that circle has expanded in ways few of us could have imagined. The pain has become closer, more tangible. Let me share with you a few stories. Ran Gvili was 24 years old. He served as a master sergeant in the Israeli police. He was also the last hostage to be returned from Gaza. On October 7th, he was not supposed to be there. He was the only injured with a broken shoulder, waiting for surgery. But when the attacks began, he made a decision. He chose to go. He drove to the south, to Kibbutz Alumim, and in the chaos of that morning, he fought for hours, rescuing civilians and saving dozens of lives. Ran was killed in that battle, and his body was taken into Gaza, where it was held for 843 days before being brought back to Israel. He was 24 years old. His family later said something very simple about him. He went in first, and came out last. And sometimes that is the clearest way to understand what courage looks like. Yaron Lishinsky and Sarah Milgram worked together at the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. Yaron was Israeli. He came to the embassy with a strong sense of purpose, wanting to serve his country and represent Israel abroad. Sarah was American. She chose to work at the Israeli embassy because she felt a deep connection to Israel and to the Jewish people, and believed in building bridges between people. They met there and became a couple. They were planning to build a life together. Yaron was about to propose. He had already bought a ring and was planning to propose to Sarah in Jerusalem. The future was very real, and then it was taken away in one moment. After attending a Jewish event just a year ago in Washington, they were killed in an attack. They were targeted because of who they were and what they represented. Their story reminds us that even far from Israel, the connection we feel to our people and to Israel is real, and that choices we make about who we are and what we stand for matter. And there was also a young soldier named Adi Leon. He was 20 years old. Before going into battle in Gaza, he wrote letters to his family and to his country. In one of these letters, he wrote, "I'm going into the war knowing I may not come back, but I believe in what I'm doing. We have no other country." These are not words meant to impress. These are words that reflect belief, responsibility, and commitment. On this day, we remember 25,648 fallen soldiers of Israel's war and 5,313 victims of terror. But these numbers are not statistics. There are lives cut short, families shattered, and stories unfinished. Every person has a name given by God and their parents. Behind every fallen soldier and every victim is a whole world, a family, love, memories, a life story, and a future that never came to be. And each story becomes part of who we are. The connection between Israel and Jewish community like yours here in Chicago is not only about celebration. It is also about standing together in moments like this, about remembering together, and about carrying that memory forward. And tonight, we're going to move from Remembrance to Independence Day. We carry something that is very unique to Israel. The shift from Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaAtzmaut is not accidental. It reflects the deeper truth about Israeli life. The State of Israel did not simply come into being. It was built and protected by the people who took responsibility for its future. When we say that those who fell gave us life, we don't mean it as a slogan. We mean that the reality we live in today, a sovereign Jewish state, the ability to gather openly as people, and the sense of home that Israel represents exist because of their choices, their courage, and their sacrifice. Remembering them is not separate from celebrating independence. It is part of it. It is what gives us that celebration and what gives that celebration a meaning. In our national anthem, Hatikva, we speak about hope, the hope to live as a free people in our land. That hope continues because of the people we remember today, and it continues because of you, how you live, what you care about, what you choose to carry forward. May the memory of the fallen be a blessing. Toda Rabba.
I would like to invite our guests from Israel to share a few words in memory of a close friend they lost in battle.
Thank you. Today I want to honor the memory of Major Yotam Peled. I met Yotam in Gaza when my tank joined his battalion for a mission. We sat together for just one planning session before heading out. He was incredibly professional, but what I remember most of his constant warm smile. He was a leader who cared deeply for his soldiers and dedicated family man, a husband to Ophir and a father for two young girls, Mia and Uri. On August 17th, Yotam was leading a convoy to bring supplies to the troops when a powerful explosive device hit his vehicle. Just a few hours before that explosion, my tank passed through that exact same spot. That hidden device was already there, waiting in the ground. It could have been me, it could have been my tank. Yotam paid the ultimate price while ensuring his soldiers had what they needed to survive. He represented the very best of us: kindness, professionalism, and total sense of duty. We carry his memory and that unforgettable smile in our hearts. May his memory be blessed.
The guy on the right, his name is Adir Mesika, and that's the guy I would like to talk about. Adir was a soldier, a son, a friend, and a person with a big heart. He grew up in Even Yehuda, loved the sea, enjoyed surfing, and even taught others how to surf. He brought joy and light wherever he went. People who knew him described someone kind, caring, and someone who always put others before himself and acted with love and compassion. On October 7th, during the terror attack, Adir was at the Nova Festival with two of his friends and their girlfriends. When the attack began, they took shelter in a small protected space. As terrorists approached, Adir and his two friends made a choice: to step outside and protect those inside. They fought with great courage, and they were able to stop the terrorists from entering, saving the lives of their girlfriends and others. All three of them were killed, but their actions showed true bravery, responsibility, and deep care for others.
השארת לי אור בפתח הדלת והיית נרדם רק כשהייתי חוזרת. ידעתי יש לי גב מול כל העולם, וכשבכיתי בחדר והרגשתי בערך היית מופיע, מאיר לי את הדרך. אבא הגעת וכאב נעלם. אתה בכל סיפור, בכל מנגינה, בתמונות הישנות, בפרחים בגינה, בכל חלק בגוף. אני מאמינה שאתה איתי אבא, כמו שהייתי קטנה, וגם אם טעיתי אז היית לי שם. וכמו השירים אתה היית נשאר, תחבק אותי אבא, תגיד שמותר להתגעגע לחיבוק מוכר. נסעתי רחוק, רציתי לברוח, נזכרתי בך, נתת לי כוח, הבנת אני צריכה לצאת לעולם. וגם אם היום קצת השתניתי, יודעת אתה כל כך גאה בי, אבא שלי, אני הולכת איתך. אתה בכל סיפור, בכל מנגינה, בתמונות הישנות, בפרחים בגינה, בכל חלק בגוף, אני מאמינה שאתה איתי אבא, כמו שהייתי קטנה, וגם אם טעיתי, אז היית נשאר, וכמו השירים, אתה היית נשאר, תחבק אותי אבא, תגיד שמותר להתגעגע לחיבוק מוכר. בכל סיפור, בכל מנגינה, בתמונות הישנות, בפרחים בגינה, בכל חלק בגוף, אני מאמינה שאתה איתי אבא, וגם אם טעיתי, אז היית נשאר, וכמו השירים, אתה היית נשאר, תחבק אותי אבא, תגיד שמותר להתגעגע. נסעתי לראות את המקום בו גדלת, לי זה מרגיש, הגעתי הביתה, אבא שלי, אני אוהבת אותך.
ירון בלום היה צעיר כישרוני ושקט. אנשים אמרו עליו שהוא כמו מים שקטים, אבל עמוק מאוד הוא חלם לעבוד עם מחשבי על ולעזור לפתח טכנולוגיה לטובת המדינה.
ירון גם אהב מוזיקה, מודעה וקומיקס. הוא שירת בצה"ל ורצה לתרום משכרנו לצבא ולארץ. בשנה 1995 נהרג בפיגוע בבית ליד. הוא היה בן 20 בלבד.
Yaron Bloom was a talented and quiet young man. People described him as someone who seemed quiet on the inside but very deep on the inside.
When he was 9 years old, he got his first computer. From that moment, he loved technology and taught himself how to program. He spent many hours learning and improving his skills. By high school, he was already working at a software company and doing advanced computer work. He dreamed of working with supercomputers and using technology to help his country.
Yaron also loved music, science, and comics. He enjoyed playing music with friends who shared his interests. He served in the Israeli army with dedication and wanted to contribute in meaningful ways.
In 1995, Yaron was killed in a terror attack at Beit Lid. He was only 20 years old.
Yaron is remembered for his intelligence, kindness, creativity, and the light he brought to everyone around him.
אם היו לי איתו חיים שלמים, הייתי יכול לבחור ממאגר הזיכרונות. אבל יש לי רק זיכרון של אחר צהריים אחד, חיוך ולחיצת יד. אם היו לי איתו חיים שלמים, הייתי יכול לבחור ממאגר הזיכרונות. אבל יש לי רק זיכרון של אחר צהריים אחד, חיוך ולחיצת יד. וחדר אחד שבו המוזיקה קרתה. רגע פשוט ושברירי, חוזרים הביתה. אני חושב על זה שיכולנו עוד לדבר במקום לשתוק, להגיד עוד משהו. הייתי רוצה לשאול אותו על מה הוא חושב, לדעת מי הוא. אולי פשוט לשאול אותו איך הייתה לו החזרה. ויצא לי לנגן איתו רק פעם אחת.
I would like to invite Rabbi Fine to lead us in a prayer for the IDF soldiers.
ישברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ויברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל, העומדים על משמר ארצנו ואלינו מגבול לבנון ועד בר מצרים, מן הים הגדול עד לעבר הערבה ביבשה ועיר וים. ייתן אדוני את אויבינו הקמים עלינו נגפים לפניהם, הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור ויציל את חיילינו מכל צרה וצוקה, מכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהם. יעדר שונאינו תחתיהם ועטרם בכתר ישועה ועטר ניצחון, כי הם בהם הכתוב כי אדוני הולכם הולך עמכם להילחם אתכם אם לא יכם להושיע אתכם, ונאמר אמן.
May he who blessed our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless the soldiers of the Israeli Defense Forces who stand watch over our land and the cities of our Lord, from the Lebanese border to the desert of Egypt, and from the great sea to the verge of the wilderness, on land, in the air, and at sea. May God strike down before them our enemies who rise against us.
May the Holy One save and spare our soldiers from all forms of woe and distress, of affliction and illness, and may he invest every action with blessing and success. May he vanquish by their means those who hate us, and may he adorn them with a crown of deliverance and a mantle of victory. Thus may the verse be fulfilled, for it is the Lord your God who marches with you to do battle for you against your enemy to bring you victory. Now let us respond, Amen.
קרן טנדלר הייתה לוחמת חלוצה ומקצוענית. היא הייתה האישה הראשונה ששירת כמבצעית מוסתת בסרט היס"רים של חיל האוויר. היא הייתה סמל של כוח, הצלחה ונשמשות.
מגיל צעיר קרן אהבה טכנולוגיה ותעופה. היא התחישה להכיל העבר והגשימה את החלום שלה לשרת בתפקיד חשוב ומשמעותי.
במלחמת לבנון השנייה היא נהרגה במערב כשהמסוק שבו עבדה נפגע מטיל. היא הייתה בת 27 בלבד.
קרן נזכרת כקרן אור, אמיצה, חכמה, חיונית ומסורה.
Karen Tensler was a pioneer and a brave soldier.
She was the first woman to serve as an airborne mechanic in the Israeli Air Force Yasur helicopter squadron. She became a symbol of strength, excellence, and determination. From a young age, Karen loved technology and aviation. She worked hard, studied engineering, and graduated with high honors. She joined the Air Force and achieved her dream of serving in an important and meaningful role. She proved that hard work, skill, and courage are not limited by gender.
Karen took part in operational missions and served with great responsibility. Her commanders and teammates respected her very much. During the Second Lebanon War, she was killed in action when the helicopter she was working on was hit during a mission. She was 27 years old. Karen is remembered as a brave and shining light, determined, kind, and dedicated to serving her country. Her life continues to inspire others to follow their dreams and break barriers. I would now like to invite Chazan Meital to come forward to recite El Me'el Rachamim, followed by Hatikva.
שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה על כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים טהורים וגיבורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים ומאירים לנשמות חללי מערכות ישראל שנפלו במלחמות ישראל, בפעולות הגנה, תגמול וביטחון, ובעת מילוי תפקידם, ובעת שירותם, ושחירפו נפשם למות על קדושת השם. ובעזרת אלוהי מערכות ישראל הביאו לתקומת האומה והמדינה ולגאולת הארץ ועיר האלוהים. בעבור שאנו מתפללים לעילוי נשמותיהם לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור חיים את נשמותיהם בגן עדן תמנוחתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבותם, ותעמוד לכל ישראל לזכותם, ויעמדו לגורלם לקץ הימין, ונאמר אמן.
O God, full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant proper rest on the wings of the divine presence, in the lofty levels of the holy and pure ones, who shine like the glow of the firmament for the souls of the martyrs who fought in all of the wars of Israel, in the underground and in the Israel Defense Force, who met their death in war and pledged their souls to the sanctification of God's name, the Jewish people, and the land of Israel. By virtue, our prayers for the ascent of their souls.
May the merciful one therefore shelter them beneath his wings for eternity, and may he bind their souls in the bond of life. The Lord is their heritage, Eden, their place of rest. May they repose in peace on their resting place. May their merit reflect on all Israel, and may they meet their destiny in the end of the days. Now let us respond, Amen.
You may be seated. I would like to thank everyone who participated in our Tech-S this morning, and I would also like to thank all of you. It's a long time to sit, to listen, to be in a serious space, and I want to recognize that you did a really beautiful job of honoring the importance of coming together on Yom HaZikaron. I'm going to ask that as I dismiss you, just as we did on Yom HaShoah, that everyone remains silent as I dismiss so that we maintain the energy that we have created in this space. I will dismiss you as quickly as we can, and I ask that you stay quiet as we do. Fourth grade is sitting closer to the door. I'm going to let fourth